welcome back to my channel. It's WANGUI here and I make videos about food and lifestyle. In today's video, we're going to talk about something that I did 3 years ago, and that is quitting my job. So I asked you guys on Instagram to choose between quitting my job and a tidy up routine, and most of you guys wanted me to talk about how I quit my job. So today is the day. I have been avoiding talking about this because it wasn't the most desirable thing I ever did in my life, but it's part of me and maybe it might inspire someone that is looking to go on that direction. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this video. But before I go ahead, guys, I want to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. We're currently at 550 plus subscribers, which is amazing, and I feel so grateful for you guys that always come back to watch my videos, the ones that turn on their notifications so they are always the first ones watching my videos. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me, and thank you so much for even sharing my content to your friends and to your family. So if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It means so much to me and you're going to support my goal in the long run. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this. Where do I start? So I'm going to give you guys a backstory to everything and what made me quit my job and all that. So if you don't know, or if you know, I am a trained public health officer, and yeah, I know I don't look like it, but yes, I am a trained public health officer, and I didn't practice it as much. In fact, I can't say I have ever practiced public health before, but this particular job that I quit was somehow in a very minimal way related to public health. So I thought it was going to be that job where I will experience, where I will at least have some form of knowledge about my course and just extend my experience, but it wasn't. Anyway, so I trained public health and I hadn't practiced, so I got this job in the beginning of 2016, around April. So I got this job and I was so excited. It was my first official job. Of course I was hustling before that, but this was my first official job, the one that you go for an interview and all that, and then you start your job. So I started working, and at first it was exciting, like it was interesting, and it was in one of the major good hospitals in Kenya. I wouldn't say the name because anyway, so I used to work there and it was an exciting experience at first. So I joined the clinic. It was a clinic, so I joined the clinic, and it was kind of different because anyway, when I was training, and for those that don't know, I went to Kenya Medical Training College, Nakuru campus. So when I was training, my exposure was towards the regular public, just normal people like me and you. But for this particular job, it was more of an exposure to the high-end kind of clients. So at first it was kind of scary, but anyway, I got into the rhythm quickly, and it started working well for me. So I started working April 2016, kept working, but as time went by, I realized it was kind of pressuring me so much. I don't know, like I lost my creativity, I lost myself. Honestly, I felt like I lost myself in it because it was always about the client, or the patient, the doctor, the boss. It was just always about that. But then, I needed to survive. I needed, this was my first job. I needed to grow my career. So I told myself, so many souls. Pardon me. Anyway, so I continued working, and now while the pressure kept on coming to me and getting into my head, I started feeling like I wasn't living the life that I wanted, and I wasn't doing things that I was excited to do. And to be honest, I really loved public health, but this particular job was in a very minimal way related to it. So I wasn't practicing public health fully. I wasn't doing things that were fully public health. It was just a very tiny bit of it. So as much as I loved public health, I still felt like, no, this job is not what I want to do, and it's not where I want to be. The encounter with my boss towards quitting my job, I told him that I wanted to advance my career, and I wanted to, do something different, and I wanted to just go. But he convinced me otherwise and told me like, okay, no, you can grow here and all that, all that nonsense they tell us. It's not nonsense, but yeah, he insisted that I was going to stay and I would grow in his company. But still, I was like, no, boss, I cannot. Anyway, so that was like a month before I quit. So yeah, so I kept thinking about it, and at this time now I was starting to make my own plans on how I would quit and how I would, go out and do my own things. So this was the same time where I started training on what I do now. I started training on article writing, and yeah, so I had started, doing I had started training with someone that was recommended to me as a good trainer. So yeah, so I did the course and I started making kidogo money here and there. I had started seeing, okay, if like I can work for 2 hours and make this much, then I think I can sustain myself. So yeah, so I thought to myself that, so this was now a month to my quitting date or my quitting time. So I started planning, I hadn't even saved money anyway. Like, man, I would like, it was just a blind exit. I didn't have any, like, okay, fine, I had kidogo money, but it wasn't going to last me more than like a month or two. So yeah, so I had just enough for the next month, and that was it. So I decided now, it's either I go now or I stay forever. So now, when did I quit and how did I quit? My God, this was like, it's not something that I regret, but I should have done it better. So yeah, so it came, so it was on a Saturday. Yeah, we used to have clinics on Saturday from 9 a.m. to about 1 p.m. 2 p.m. So yeah, so we went about our day, we did the whole clinic thing, and patients left, the doctor left, so I was left in the office to close up and everything. So now at this point I was like, my God, I'm not coming back, I am not working here again. And I remember it was the beginning of April of 2017, so this was exactly a year after I had started this job. So I was like fed up, honestly fed up. I really wanted to go, and I was really feeling the pressure to just take my things and go. So this Saturday afternoon, I wasn't even in a rush to go home or anything. So I closed everything down, and then I started, planning on now, how do I go? How do I even say that I am quitting? How do I even, just pack up and go? Like, it was scary, but deep within I was like, no, I'm not going to come back here. I need to go, and if I'm going, it's now. So I packed my things, I looked for my things here and there, my water bottle, my shoes, those knickknacks you have in the office. So I packed them up, and now I decided it was time to go. Yeah, so what I did, because obviously I had the office key, I wrote an envelope with, the doctor's name or the clinic's name, and I put the key there and left it at the security desk. Then here I am with everything that I owned in that office, like my extra shoes, my notebooks, everything. Like, I carried everything and I left. This was Saturday afternoon, so we never used to open on Sunday, so we were going to now open on Monday. Maureen ako wapi? She has carried everything that belongs to her. She is not reporting on Monday. Has she told anybody? No, I haven't communicated that I am quitting. Okay, I had told my mom, and I told my close people then, but the boss doesn't know I'm quitting. And in fact, that afternoon we had discussed on how we are going to make, this business run nicely, how we are going to, do things differently, Anyway, so I left the key at the security and went home. So Sunday was very difficult for me. Like, I was feeling like, am I doing the right thing? Should I just go back? Remember, I haven't told him, so I still had a chance to like wake up on Monday and go to work. But I was still like, no, he's still the same boss. The pressures are still the same. I am still very young. I can come out here and just look for something else. I can still do my own things. And if worst comes to us, I can go back home. Like, it's never that serious. So, Sunday, the whole day I am feeling free, kinda, but still scared about what will happen on Monday. So I slept Sunday, and I was supposed to wake up Monday and go to work, but I slept. And before I extended my sleep to the morning, I switched off my phone. Yeah, I switched off my phone. So I didn't report. My phone is off. I left the key at the security desk. So obviously, morning comes, 8, the office is not open. 9, the office is not open. 10, the office is not open. Where is Maureen? She is off. Yeah, that is what happened. So yeah, and I continued sleeping. I woke up and I switched on my phone, and of course I found very many tried calling news, and I didn't respond to any of that. Like, I was just at the end of it all, like, I was just like, I'm not going to talk to anyone, because if I did, I was gonna feel like, oh my god, no, I shouldn't leave, I should just go back, I should just come up with an excuse and say maybe I was sick. But I decided I'm not going to talk to anybody. The wife tried calling me, other our colleagues tried calling me. I didn't pick up, I didn't talk to anyone, and that was it. That is how I quit my job. Yeah, it was not the best ways, and I wouldn't advise anyone to do that, but yeah, I did it. Like, it was just that time of, you either do it or not. And because I had told my boss about it a month ago, and he wasn't buying the idea, and he wasn't even looking like he was bothered, I was just like, it's my life and I need to just go and do my own thing. So living is living, going is going. Go. I left. I wouldn't advise anyone to take that route if you're deciding to quit your job. And for this reason, I have a few tips that you can use if you're stuck in a place that you want to quit, and you want to do it correctly. So I have a few tips, just 5 tips that you can use if you're looking into quitting your job. Okay, so number 1, I have written them down here so I don't forget. Number 1, do not leave your job without a plan. Please don't be like me. Don't be like me and just blindly go out of it. Plan ahead. If you're thinking of starting a business, start that business first, and test it out and see if it's going to bring some returns, or if it's something that you genuinely want to do after you quit your job. Okay, if you're looking into finding another job, do that first. Start sending out applications, and once you are sure you're going to land a job somewhere, then now you can go ahead and quit. So have a plan beforehand, and just don't just take a blind bold step like I did, because things don't always work out the way we think they will in our heads. Okay, so point number 2, or tip number 2, quit following the right procedure, which I didn't follow a procedure. I just blindly left, and I didn't communicate. So talk to your boss, insist that you want to leave, write a resignation letter, communicate why, let them know, give them a notice. If it's a month or 2 or 3, depending on how you guys relate. Just don't go like that. Don't burn bridges, because you might need them later, maybe for a recommendation letter or something, or you might need them to help you at some point in your life. So quit correctly. Just consider their feelings, even if they are your bosses, and you really aren't as even if you're not as important to them. Just be a nice person and consider their feelings, and quit correctly. Give them time to find a replacement and all that. Okay, tip number 3, seek advice from people that have gone through the same. So if you know of a friend that quit their job, talk to them, tell them what you expect, tell them what you're feeling, tell them what your plans are. They might be in a better position to let you know, to help you decide on the route to take, or or help you or guide you on what you need to do before you quit your job. So these are people that have been in such a situation before, so they know better. So if you know of any, talk to them, and just at least it will help you see your idea in someone else's perspective. Okay, point number 4. Tip number 4, give yourself enough time before you quit. I know sometimes it comes abruptly and you just feel like, I just want to quit this job today, but I would advise you to take some time. I personally took some time, about a month or so, to prepare and to just focus on just trying to do other things out here, so that when I quit my job I wouldn't have to start from zero. So take some time, think about it, think of of this being something that you're doing once and you won't have a chance to go back. So if it's a job that you really treasure, think about it first. If you have kids, you definitely need to think thrice about that. If you have people that you support, if the job is the only source of income, take some time to see if this is a direction that you want to take before you do it. And my last tip is, it is not always greener on the other side. I know sometimes we have that idea of I can do my own business, I will make some money, I will be rich, I can travel. Who said so? It will take you time, it will take you a lot of time. Even if you have the capital to start your business, this is not what you should be having in your head, that once you start, things will kick off and you will have everything flowing. No, it doesn't happen like that. And sometimes it's not always green on the other side. Sometimes you even regret doing it. I'm happy that I don't regret quitting my job, and I got to do the most fulfilling thing in my life, which is writing and just content creation. This thing just fulfills my heart. Let me tell you, after recording this video, I will feel so good about myself. After editing all the articles I have written today, I will feel so good about myself, and it helps my brain grow, and my creativity keeps developing, and it's the most amazing thing that has ever happened to my life. So before you quit your job, just think of, okay, 2 years from here, 3 years from now, where will I be? Will I be miserable, or will I be flourishing and succeeding? So yeah, just keep that in the back of your head, that it might not work out and you might need a plan C, D, E, F, and all the plans you might get. So yeah, so take your time, plan ahead, seek advice, talk to your peers about it, talk to someone that could mentor you or could help you, especially in the things that you want to do after that. So yeah, so that has been my story of how I quit my job. And yeah, it's not the most interesting stories, and it's not the most inspiring stories, but it's that's how it happened. And I remember at that time I was 23, and no one could understand why I was quitting my job because I had just found my first official job. How do you find a job a year later you want to quit? Who are you? What is wrong with you? But I think I discovered myself way earlier, and I knew what I wanted to do in life, and I knew for a fact that I wanted to be in the creative space, and so I took that bold step and left. So I hope that my story is can be helpful in a way or another. Maybe maybe not, but I'm happy to share. And if you would like to connect with me on the same, feel free to do so, and I will be happy to share my experience so far. And yeah, so if you haven't watched my last video on content writing, because I know I'll get questions from this video on how I started now my hustle, which I did immediately I left my job, I'll link this video up here so you can go and watch it, and you can learn a few things if you're thinking of taking that route. And it's been amazing, and I am happy that you guys are supporting me, and the growth is evident, and I am so happy that you're finding a few things to learn from my channel and from my general creation. So if you would like to see more from me, please follow me on Instagram. I share my day-to-day life there. I share my recipes there sometimes. I share my content writing stories there sometimes, and just everything about my life. So if you would like to follow me, please do at maureen.gathogo on Instagram and at WANGUI GATHOGO on Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please turn on your notifications so that you know when I upload a new video. So thank you guys, and I will see you next time.